I'm throwing away every single piece of makeup that I own. Then I'm going to go all over London and buy only what you have told me that I should get. An entire fresh start built entirely from your suggestions only. All of your suggestions came from an Instagram poll that I put on my story a couple of times. Yes, you should go follow me so that you can be in the next video, where I asked for your ride or die products. I haven't tried any of these. I have a history of very sensitive skin and being very picky with my makeup choices. So let's see how good your taste is. As you can imagine, most of these suggestions are going to be trendy, off the moment products that you've probably seen all over your For You page, as well as iconic bestsellers that you've probably been debating whether or not to spend your budget on. And I want to tell you exactly whether these things are worth your hard-earned money or not. We are barefaced and bushy-tailed this morning on the madeleine.d.marston channel, and this is actually a video I've wanted to make for a really long time, with an actually much deeper meaning than you might expect. It's about something that I think not a lot of people talk about or address, and I'm going to do exactly that, whilst also trying all of your makeup suggestions and skincare too. I've put my faith in your hands for the greater good, and I want to tell you all about that at the end of this video. Spoilers, it has a little something to do with Project Pantry. So let's get started. The longer I sit in front of this camera with no makeup or anything on my face, the slightly more insecure I'm getting. So the first product of all of your suggestions is the very iconic La Roche-Posay B5 Cicaplast. I hope I said that right. You've probably seen this brand and this packaging everywhere, especially if you search up the famous Parisian pharmacy where everything is discounted. This bottle of very trendy skincare normally ranges between £14 to £19. So while I think it's relatively affordable for a more luxury skincare product, it's not particularly your budget option. So let's see if it's worth it. It is an ultra repairing soothing balm. Let's see if it's ultra repairing to my face. It's a very thick moisturizer consistency. I will say it does have a slight clinical smell to it, almost like a more chemically SPF smell, but I personally quite like that because it makes it feel like a more serious medicinal product. So I kind of feel like it does more. As you can tell, it is very thick, but it does blend into my skin very easily. To make this video and tell you if I actually think these products are worth it, I have been using this for about a month now, and I genuinely see a difference. I don't use it every day because it does feel quite thick. While my skin looks quite clear, I actually have very textured skin. Lots of those tiny little bumps, and every time I do get a spot, I do put this on. I want to thank the person that suggested I try this because I genuinely do think that it is a reliable overnight fix to textured skin. I love this, and I would definitely rebuy it again. Next on my list wasn't a specific product, but it was just the brand Kiehl's. You might recognize them from, again, their very sort of medicinal, clinical packaging design. I really like it. It does sort of make you trust it more and make you think it's less of a trendy product and they know what they're doing. I'm a marketer's dream, what can I say? But I have for us to try a creamy eye treatment with avocado and a classic ultra facial moisturizer. As you can tell, the under eyes of my skin get quite veiny and dark. The under eye treatment I think is genuine. You'll see in a second. It is a very instant fix. As you can tell, the avocado is making the cream pretty green, and you actually need, this was a lot. You need the tiniest amount, which is quite good because this is very expensive, but if you only need a tiny amount, it lasts a really long time. It's extremely hydrating, and you just sort of massage it in really gently under your eyes. I genuinely do think that this makes my eyes look a lot brighter. You can tell me in the comments maybe you've tried this, maybe you've been debating trying it. I think definitely try it out, especially if you have darker under eyes which you're a bit insecure about. To spice things up, I will be using the moisturizer. This is one of my favorite facial moisturizers. It's so lightweight, and as soon as you blend it in, it sort of evaporates, but the product is still there. You don't feel greasy, you don't feel sticky, anything like that. Again, I've been using these for just over a month now, and I also genuinely love both of these, but I'm going to be mixing it with honestly one of my favorite products of all time. This was actually a suggestion, not from my Instagram story, but from one of my best friends. I recently went on a trip to Paris and it was amazing, and she introduced me to the brand Typology. I am very obsessed with the brand's aesthetic. While I was there, I treated myself to the bronzing drops. They also have vitamin E and extract of apricot in there. But what we're gonna do is take a little bit of the lightweight moisturizer from Kiehl's and then about a drop or two of these bronzing drops. That was really hard to do on camera. I'm gonna do just one because I'm a pale girl. I don't want it to look like I've had a bad fake tan story. Yes, I have used this in my daily routine for about 2 months now since I came back from Paris, and I love it. I can't imagine life without these, honestly. As a pale girl, these do make me feel a lot more confident. Obviously, when it first goes on, it does look like bad fake tan, but let me just blend it out. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but there is a really clear before and after change in the way that my face looks after I use these. I really like the texture and the after effects of the moisturizer, and the bronzing drops are probably one of my favorite makeup products I have ever used. Both of these products do lean towards more higher end skincare, since this small pot of Kiehl's, although it does last a long time, I will say that, is around 30 to 35 pounds. And these bronzing drops from Typology were, I think, 26 euros, so probably about 24 pounds. So they definitely don't need towards the more affordable side. My bank account might not thank those suggestions from my friends and you guys, but I would 100% repurchase both of those. They're definitely going to be long-standing members in my skincare collection. So with my skincare finished, it is time to move on to makeup, but I will say that all of those recommendations are 100% worth your money, and since I've started using them, I've also recommended them to a lot of my own friends. I would say that none of these products are just a trend. I think they're really good lifetime finds. Yes, with my skincare done and my face ready, let's get on to makeup. This poor, well-loved, cracked, broken, well-traveled concealer is the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Concealer. Can you tell I'm pale? The shade is 00. I have used this and rebought it a lot. I think since Zoella first mentioned it, probably in like 2013. I have been using this probably since I was about 13. I do like it, but I think it's time for a change, especially since the price of drugstore concealer has really skyrocketed. I remember buying this for myself and it being like $5.99. I was going to rebuy this. It was $13.99. That's kind of crazy to me for just a drugstore meant to be lower end concealer product. So I'm well up for trying something new. This puppy is going in the bin. She is being replaced, hopefully successfully, by the Collection Lasting Perfection Ultra Cover Concealer. This is a classic, also mentioned by Zoella a lot, and I noticed that they've stuck to the exact same price since 2013 when she mentioned this. This is still $4.99, probably the cheapest concealer in your local drugstore. However, I've never actually used it, so let's try it out. Got it in the shade 4W, and yes, I've been running all over London, all over Bath, all over the UK, to be honest, trying to find all of these products in the last few months. This is a really fun experiment for me because with makeup, I tend to just stick to what I know and then rebuy stuff. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that does mean that I normally don't branch out. I don't try things that could be better. So I'm trusting you with that, thanks to the person that suggested this concealer. I'm using very trusty Real Techniques Beauty Blender. You can tell how stained and well loved she is. One thing I do notice about this, which I don't like as much as the Maybelline one, is that it tends to seep into all the tiny cracks in your skin. I'm just noticing when I'm blending it out, if you're used to your concealer and foundation creasing, maybe this isn't the one for you. It's not that noticeable. If you look at it on camera, you know, when you're not super up close to my face, it does a really good job, especially for $4.99 in this economy. I would say this is a win. It might not be my favorite concealer that I've ever tried, but I think for the price at $4.99 in 2026, this is a really reliable option if you're on a budget. One thing I haven't budged on yet, although I'm very open to trying new ones, is my blush. For my blush, I use this probably about 5-year-old Kiko lipstick. I don't even know what shade this is because it's all rubbed off. Yes, it's that old. It's in this very lovely burgundy shade, and I have used this every single day for about 5 years. It's extremely highly pigmented, like most Kiko products. And yes, I just put a little dot on each of my cheeks, a little bit on my nose, and I blend it out with the same blender. This is not one of your suggestions, but it is my suggestion to you. Use a Kiko lipstick as your blush. It's life-changing and I probably won't go back unless I try something else groundbreaking. I just find that as a cream blush it blends in really nicely, especially if you don't wear foundation like I currently don't, and I think the colour matches my skin pretty good. But let's move on. The next thing going in the trash is the Revolution Translucent Baking Powder. I remember buying this for I think £2 about 3 years ago, and since then she's all cracked. She's absolutely empty. I have loved this. It's genuinely a really good face powder, so it is with a heavy heart that I'm going to say goodbye to her. But I'm going to try a very highly recommended, still affordable setting powder. It is the Bacon Set Translucent Powder from Morphe. When I was younger, I don't know why I assumed that Morphe was really high end. I found this at my local drugstore and it was £16, I believe. I do always tend to get translucent powder rather than tinted because I just think it's more versatile and you can use it all year round rather than having to buy a new one for winter when you're paler and summer when you're probably a bit more tan. Since this is actually £14 more expensive than my last one, the Revolution one, which I loved so much, I was really curious to see if this one would be worth it. I have been using it for about 2 months and I do genuinely like it. I think I prefer the Revolution one just a little bit since this is slightly fragrant. It smells a bit floral, which I'm not super keen on just because I have really sensitive skin, but it's obviously not caused a reaction, so it's probably fine. Overall, I would probably opt for an unscented £2 facial powder over a £16 one. However, I found that most facial powders that I was looking for and asking your suggestions for are between like £30 and £40, which I think is quite a lot for a facial powder, which not even a lot of people use in their daily makeup routines. So £16 for a facial powder, is it affordable? In relation to all of the other options out there, yes, I would say it is. And is it reliable? Is it a good product? Yes. I actually have a very minimal makeup routine, so we're going straight to mascara. Like everyone else and their mothers, I have been using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara for years. I genuinely do love it. I think it's the best mascara I've tried so far. I'm ready for something new. And you told me I should get the Maybelline Sky High in Burgundy. I've been seeing this all over my TikTok. I'm assuming a lot of people have been buying this, and that's why it's been recommended. I do have green eyes, and it's recommended to use a burgundy or purple mascara to make them look brighter. So I am genuinely excited to see if it's worth it. I think this mascara has reached a point where I can get one more use out of it. So I'm going to do one eye with this and then one eye with the burgundy, and you can tell me which one you prefer. I mean, it just is that good, isn't it? I do get compliments on my eyelashes a lot. It makes me feel really good when people say that. So I have recommended that mascara to a lot of people. I know that a lot of people really like it. However, I have been seeing this everywhere. So let's try it out. Okay, I've done both eyes. This is the one with my regular Very Black Lash Sensational Mascara, and this is the eye with the Burgundy Sky High Mascara. I honestly kind of don't know which one I prefer. I think I prefer the job that the mascara in the one did on this eye, but I really like the burgundy colour on this one. Maybe, I don't know. You tell me. Tell me which one you prefer, and then you can tell me if it's worth it. I do believe that they're the exact same price, which is understandable considering they're both Maybelline. So maybe this one's up to you. I know that they do the Sky High one in lots of different colours, so if you're after a more fun summer party ready look, maybe go for a bit more of a fun color. I think overall they've both done a really good job anyway, and I probably would rebuy this one. Yeah, you can tell me which one you prefer. And with that, my makeup is done. I have a very simple makeup routine, I will say that now. But I do want to mention that I also asked, since I'm on a nail growth journey right now trying to stop biting them, which nail polish I should get to help me stop biting them. Every single person I asked, whether it was on my Instagram or in real life, told me Essie. My mum even uses this, so you already know it's worth it. I think this was $8.99 and I got the shade Vanity Fairest. You can already see it on my nails. I really like it. It's a very chic, timeless, almost ballet slipper color with a very slight sparkle. And as you can tell, I have not been biting my nails, so I would say that this is worth it as well. I don't know, does this count as makeup? This was a suggested product to me. I bought it, I tried it, it's worth it. So this is my full face of products that you told me I should buy. If I say so myself, I think you guys have excellent taste. I've genuinely really loved all of these products, so maybe this is my sign to branch out and try new things more often. I do want to mention the slightly deeper meaning behind this video and what motivated me to make it, and that is probably, as you've been seeing everywhere as well, the concept of Project Pantry, which is basically a concept to help you break out of overconsumption habits. I think now with social media we get used to seeing people with entire perfume trays of about 15 bottles, having entire cabinets full of makeup with loads of different options for just one product. That is excessive when you think about it. It's not particularly normal. Kind of do only need one blush, one face powder, one concealer at a time. Environmentally, financially, and just personally, I think that that's a really good way to look at things instead of wasting your money buying every new product that you see come and go on your For You page. So Project Pantry basically tells you to let something completely run out before you buy a new one, whether it's something different or the same product. Don't replenish until something is empty, and that's exactly what I've done with all of my makeup. This video has taken months to film because I wanted to do one whole look in one video, but I've been waiting for each singular product to completely run out before going out and buying a new one. Both of these products in my normal makeup routine that I used to use before I bought your suggestions are completely unusable now. There is nothing in them, trust me, I've tried, which is why I said that I'm going to throw them away. It might have sounded really wasteful and clickbaity when you chose this video, but actually I'm throwing away and making sure to recycle empty products. I didn't go out and buy any of the new things before my old ones ran out, and I think that's a really valuable lesson to learn in your teens, in your early 20s, at any point in your life. If you, like me, want to strive towards financial freedom, good sustainable money habits, as well as a more environmentally friendly outlook on the way you live your life. Yeah, this is me trying out Project Pantry for the first time with all of my makeup. I'm really excited to recycle, throw away all of my old things and start a clean slate with new ones. I actually really enjoyed filming this, and I think I might do another one in the future. So if you would like to be featured in that video and tell me what your ride or die products are, you can either leave a comment below or follow me on Instagram too, so that you know about the next poll. Thank you so much for watching. watching. I'm Madeleine.d.Marston. I'm here to talk about travel, fashion, being brave and trying new things, while helping you become the most motivated and creative version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and tell me, which of these products have you tried before or you want to try now? And what you think about Project Pantry? Leave a comment below, I would love to know your thoughts on this. And if you watched my last video, you'll know I'm taking a very short break for some extremely exciting life events, so I will see you very, very soon.